Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Everybody's doing good as always. I'm always awesome because we're talking football, baby. And what we're doing starts it week number 10. Unbelievable. It is week 10 already. It's coming quick, man. This season just wraps faster every single year. Before we get started, smash that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button. We can do bigger and better things, no question. Appreciate all the support from every one of y'all, man. Go check out our friends from OptimusFantasy.com. Go sign up for their package today, gold package. 70% off. Use promo code COVER1. Stumbling a little bit there, but I'm telling y'all, Cover One pass. If you guys are interested, Discord channels, lots of film breakdowns. Even if you're not a Bills fan, you will understand what these guys do. They're too damn good with their film breakdowns. No question you're interested in that. Go check out Cover One pass at cover1.net. Before we get started, bye week troubles this week. Not too bad, man. Cincinnati Bengals, Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, and those Tennessee Titans. So there is some big ballers that are not going to be suiting up this week for our clubs, which will pose a little bit of a problem, but we got you covered for the rest of them. Y'all know the drill. It is rapid fire. Every team, every player. Let's go. It is the Arizona Cardinals taking on those Seattle Seahawks, and this division is starting to turn out into something once again, man. With the Hawks, the Rams, the 49ers continue to win somehow, and the Arizona Cardinals are trying to stay put, man. Kyler Murray's been sent to the injured reserve with that foot issue, man. You got to wonder in this situation if it's kind of a soft injured reserve. Could he have suited up if Brissett wasn't playing as well as he is? Perhaps, but it's a very interesting move. Nonetheless, Kyler's gone 4 weeks. Jacoby Myers has been playing very well, man. 66 points so far in the games that he has played. Good upside in the green for me up against Seahawks defense that is very strong, man. Under the radar, strong on that back end. That front seven can come after the quarterback, even though they did lose Ernest Jones to that injury as well, so that's going to be a big loss. Jacoby Brissett, do not dislike it if you are streaming quarterbacks. Bam Knight and Demercado, TD floor and low floor, respectively, both on the mid-level risk. If I'm picking one, it's going to be Bam over Demercado at this point, but either way, versus Seahawks defense that has been stymieing running backs, it's not a great matchup. Look in other directions if you can. Marvin Harrison Jr. coming off a good contest last week, but again, it's against those Dallas Cowboys. Everybody eats versus those Dallas Cowboys. I could probably catch a touchdown, just kidding. But I mean, you know what I'm saying. And in this week, I don't like it, man. With a spoon and all those boys on that back end covering, it might be a little bit of a tougher contest for Marvin Harrison to break free. I mean, you probably got him drafted at higher rates, so you got to play him. But, I mean, definitely temper the expectations. I got him on a mid-level this week. Michael Wilson, low upside in the red, likewise with Greg Dortch. Zay Jones dealing with a knee injury, high risk for him. Where Trey McBride continues his torrid pace, 103.7 boom games. We fire him up, obviously, everywhere we got him. Atlanta Falcons taking on the Indianapolis Colts in Germany. Get up early for this one. Once again, International Series continues with these Dirty Birds. Last week was a very good show for Michael Penix, man. Going up against Drake May and company, he showed some moxie. And what was the moxie? Going to Drake London on the regular mid-level risk this week versus Colts defense that is without DeForest Buckner. He's been put on the injured reserve, but they did go grab themselves a Sauce Gardner, those Colts did, from the New York Jets. So, I mean, is Sauce going to be ready to go in this contest? Of course he's going to play, but I mean, ready to go as in scheme-wise, schematic-wise? We will see, man. So, mid-level risk for Michael Penix. Don't dislike the play. I mean, it's going to be interesting without DeForest Buckner because he's a big loss in that front four for them as well. So Penix, decent upside, anywhere 15 to 20 points should come your way. We're Bijan, low-level risk. Obviously, we're playing him and firing him up every single week. Volume floor for Tyler Algier. Didn't see much traction last week as they had to throw the ball a lot to get back in that contest, which they did. This week, they should control the pace a little bit more. There is a flex appeal in deeper leagues. Where Drake London, low risk for me. Fire him up everywhere you got him. Yeah, he's been on this kind of up and down yo-yo this season, but this week again versus the Colts, he should see a lot of sauce in this contest, and I have a feeling that Drake London will get the better of him here in this week right now. Darnell Mooney, low floor, mid-level, not trusting it this week. There's got to be some upside for us to get excited about. I am not happy with a Darnell Mooney right now. Casey Washington is an afterthought where Kyle Pitts, TD upside on the mid-level. I do like the play of Kyle Pitts once again this week. Baltimore Ravens taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Lamar Jackson and company had a good show last week, and like I was saying on Boom and Bust on the video there, you know, The Baltimore Ravens were very intelligent with how they tried to get the rust shaken off of a Lamar Jackson after coming back from his hamstring injury, letting him throw the football a lot. Shake off that rust because they got to put all hands on deck and they got to basically go lights out, win almost every game to secure themselves a playoff spot. So taking on these Vikings, who themselves are vying for any kind of winning percentages to get in the playoffs, Lamar Jackson, low-level risk, fire him up. Derrick Henry on the opposite hand right now this week. He did miss out on a touchdown last week, which could have given us 18 to 20 points, half PPR. This week, I do foresee more ground control with the Ravens. Run the ball with Derrick Henry. He should have a very sizable workload. I do like the play of him a lot. He should be a big-time boomer for us. Obviously, we're playing Henry everywhere we got him. Zay Flowers. Typically, I don't have this guy on the low-level risk, but I like the play this week. I think he provides a skill set versus Viking secondary that they're going to have a big problem with this week as well. A lot of it went to Mark Andrews last week. This week, it's going back to Zay Flowers quite a bit. Do like the play on the low-level risk. Rashad Bateman, DeAndre Hopkins, PPR floor in the red for Bateman and a high-level risk for Hopkins. Don't like the plays this week either. Where Mark Andrews, mid-level risk, again, coming off 2 TD performance, still is going to be one of the premier targets for a Lamar Jackson, where Isaiah Likely's got to do something for me to, trust at this point. I can't do it for fantasy football. He's trending in the right direction, just not this week for me. Buffalo Bills Mafia taking on the Miami Dolphins. Squish the fish week, baby. Bills got to keep pace with those Colts and company and the Denver Broncos for home field advantage, where the Kansas City Chiefs continue to fall down. So it's big news for the Bills. It's a great opportunity for them to win a contest and keep pace for home field. Josh Allen, low-level risk, fire him up everywhere he got him. It is, you feeling it's a cupcake matchup, but this could be a trap game for these Bills. You better not, play down to the competition. We got to see Josh take command of this offense early and often, get a big lead, then in the fourth quarter he could basically rest. That's kind of what I want to see. Low-level risk for Josh, where James Cook, man, he was dealing with an injury. Off the injury report, it was a ankle injury. He got rolled up versus those Kansas City Chiefs, so you won't be surprised if they do give him a lighter workload this week. Still got to put him on the low-level risk because it's James Cook. He's been absolutely killing it. I would not be surprised we see more Ray Davis and more Johnson this week in that backfield, just to give him like an in-game day off type of situation. James, we still got to play, but do not be shocked if you see the floor, be a little bit lower than what we have seen in previous weeks. Keon Coleman, sleeper appeal this week. I know a lot of y'all are going to be saying, what are you talking about? I'm telling y'all, if you needed a get-right game for Keon in the biggest of ways, this is the game to do it, and I do believe the Bills should look in his direction more than often to try to get him out of his funk. We will see if it does go down. I don't have the kahunas to play Keon this week, but there definitely is sleeper appeal on the mid-level risk. Where Khalil Shakir, TD upside in the green, like I said in Boom and Bust as well, I do believe that Khalil will be a boom-time player this week once again. And it's got to be this evolution of this Bills offense where it's got to be Khalil, it's got to be Dalton Kincaid and James Cook taking over kind of the main roles of this offense. I understand they're still going with everybody eats, but you got to have a little bit of a focal point where the defense has got to be, dictating terms to one player each and every week. I know that goes against the everybody eats mantra to say, you want to be multifaceted and multidimensional, but I think that you're starting to see a little bit more Khalil, a little bit more Dalton, and then James Cook. That's kind of your trio you're looking for. So Khalil, definitely a play this week for me, where Josh Palmer is on the questionable, could be suiting up in this contest. Boomer bust, wouldn't trust it anyway, and Elijah Moore, likewise, high-level risk, but Dalton Kincaid, low-level risk, fire him up. He's been very good so far this season. Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. Bryce Young, okay, 1-8 New Orleans Saints, 5-4 Carolina Panthers. Where the hell did that come from, Carolina? They're starting to put some things together. Coaching staff has his team playing in the right direction. It does help. You got a guy like Rico Dowdle running the football, though, as good as he is. Bryce Young, good upside in the green. I haven't done this all season long. Basically, I do like the play of Bryce Young this week, for better or worse. The Saints are a dump fire at this point, and they're tanking for the offseason. Traded away a Rashid Shaheed. So, there's going to be opportunities, ample opportunities for Bryce Young to make a lot of plays in this contest, but it will be contingent on a Tet McMillan. If Tet does sit in this contest, then I'm kind of pulling that back to a mid-level good upside for a Bryce. But as we said today, Tet's good to go. He should be playing, so good upside in the green. Where Rico, he was dealing with with a injury as well. They said they were limiting his touches in practice this week. Should be no worse for wear and good to go. So low-level risk, fire up Rico everywhere you got him. One of the best waiver wire pickups this season. He could be a league winner for us, no question. Chuba Hubbard, he takes a back seat to a Rico at this point. Mid-level risk. Look in other directions if you have them. But in garbage time, if this game does get something out of hand, we could see some Chuba. So there is flex appeal as well. Ted McMillan, injury risk on the mid-level. Could we see, decoy type of role potentially, man? Hamstring injuries are definitely tricky. They said it tightened up on him during practice. So, I mean, if you got better options, take him this week as well. Let Tet sit on that bench just in case he does either exit early or he plays that decoy role. Xavier Legette, man, mid-level risk. If Tet isn't 100%, Legette could see a lot of targets. Likewise with a Jalen Coker, but I got Coker on a high-level risk. Would rather play a Legette over a Coker. And Jatavion Sanders, high-level risk for me. He has not been very good this season. A lot of injuries, less targets to come in his direction this year. Chicago Bears taking on the New York Giants. Caleb Williams, baby. What a game he put up last week in terms of fantasy productivity. Wow, what was it, 40 points? He's been good for fantasy. You can't argue that. I mean, his game on the field, otherwise, you're still seeing the errant throws, you're still seeing some overshots, and you're still seeing some slow progression. But versus New York Giants, who are struggling to win contests, and they are supremely frustrated, Caleb back at home in Chicago, low-level risk, fire him up everywhere he got him. Ben Johnson definitely is making this offense look good in his likeness right now. DeAndre Swift, he was away with a personal issue, and he's still dealing with that groin, but mid-level risk for me. Coach Ben Johnson does say he's going to ride the hot hand. I don't buy it for a second, man. He had Jahmyr Gibbs, Gibby, and the Monty show in Detroit. He knows how to handle a tandem approach. If DeAndre suits up, we can absolutely play him this week. Likewise with a Kyle Monangai, it's going to turn into a Gibby Monty show. That's exactly what he's looking for. He wants to run the football a lot. Mid-level risk for Monangai as well. I do like the play of both these gentlemen this week. They should be heavily utilized. DJ Moore, PPR upside in the green once again. So if DeAndre Swift by any stretch does sit, I do like the play of Moore that much more, pun intended. But I'm telling y'all right now, DJ Moore looks like he's turned the corner a little bit, coming at the expense of a Rome Odunze. So for me this week, once again, I will lean on the side of DJ Moore over Rome because I just don't like what's going down with Rome. Rome's got a mid-level risk for me right now. Cole Kmet was dealing with that injury, high-level risk for me. Don't like it, even though he is pegged to play in this contest because of what happened with Colston Loveland. He looked good, man, breaking tackles, poor tackling by the Bengals last week as well. So I'm going to give it a little credit to say that, that last touchdown he made was extremely poor tackling, but at least we know that Colston Loveland is finally starting to pick up steam. Target floor, mid-level risk. Play at your own risk this week for me. I'm not necessarily down in it, but I'm not going to trust it wholeheartedly here in week number 10. Cleveland Brownies taking on the New York Jets. Dillon Gabriel, high-level risk. Even though it is the New York Jets, they traded away a lot of their players, even on the defensive side. It's Dillon Gabriel, man. He hasn't done really much. 50 points in his starts so far. It has not been great for us for fantasy. And he can't even support the rest of his playmakers on the field, man. Qushon Judkins, on the other hand, he came back. He was dealing with that injury, and you had to know it was going to be a letdown last week. This week versus the Jets, I do like the play of Q Judkins. Low-level risk, fire him up everywhere he got him. Dylan Sampson's been an afterthought with Judkins running like he has, where Jerry Jeudy, man, I told y'all going all the way back to the offseason, this was a terrible spot for Jeudy with the quarterback rotation. Low upside, mid-level risk. Eventually, he's going to get himself a boom game. I just don't see it this week either. Potentially, it does happen. Maybe a flex option for Jeudy, but then you're looking at, 4 points, 5 points on the floor? It's such a bad situation for a Jerry Jeudy. I do not like it. Good news is Cedric Tillman is coming back, 21-day window. He is a true questionable for this contest on the hamstring. I'd like to give it a game. I know everybody's going to be excited to, he's back and Tillman's got TD upside, which he does, but I would like to see a game, see how healthy he really is before we start suiting him up. And can Dillon Gabriel support Cedric Tillman? He can't even do it with Jerry Jeudy, so I do have my question marks. Keep him on the bench this week or on the waiver wire where he belongs at this point, but he's starting to come back to form. That's good news for Cedric Tillman. Jamari Thrash not touching it, where Harold Fannin Jr. was dealing with a hammy injury, tightened up on him as well. Mid-level risk, he gets a downgrade. Otherwise, I would have said low-level risk, so they might play it safe a little bit. and they will play a David Njoku that much more. Low-level risk for Njoku, mid-level risk for Harold Fannin. I do like the play of both. However, they should at least find ways to get in the end zone. At least one of these guys will score a TD this week. Detroit Lions taking on the Washington Commanders. Commies, Jared Goff and company coming off a big loss. They're going to be hunting for blood, man. Feel bad for these commies because I think the Lions are going to give him their best, man. Low-level risk for Jared Goff. Fire him up. Gibby bounce back in a big way this week once again. Low-level risk. Fire him up. They're going to get this run game going in the biggest of ways. TD upside for Monty. I can play him this week as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown isn't even a question anymore. Fire up Amon-Ra everywhere he got him. Low-level risk where J. Mo has been the question mark. Had himself a good show last week. Great effort on that touchdown he scored last week. Mid-level risk once again. The issue at hand with J-Mo, it's him or Sam Laporta. Him or Sam Laporta. Like week in, week out. They're trying to figure out this run game that much more. So it is complicated on which games to play at J-Mo. This week it is definitely mid-level risk. TD upside does exist. But again, the floor is so volatile. You can't trust it. Where Sam Laporta, I like the play of Sam this week. Good upside in the green. As they even suggested they might try to use an Isaac Tesla quite a bit more. That's only going to complicate target share matters, no question. But Sam Laporta, good upside in the green. I do like the play. Green Bay Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football. Great show on Monday Night Football. This should be Jordan Love. What the hell happened to you last week? Feel the love for Love. We did not feel it for you last week. Bounce back in the green. 8-point showing for a Love? Terrible show. 142 points, 5 boom games. He's got to be a lot better. And I just don't understand what the hell's going on, man. You got a plethora of talented wide receivers that you can't even get the ball to at this point. Matthew Golden dealing with an injury as well. They lost Tucker Kraft to that ACL injury. He's gone on injured reserve. Knee injury still hampering on the injury report for a Watson, but he has played through it so far. No worse for wear. Savion Williams, foot injury. And like I said, Matthew Golden dealing with a shoulder. So there are issues on this offense. For me, high-level risk for, I think I passed over a Josh Jacobs. We're obviously playing him. Low-level risk for Josh Jacobs, but go back to these wide receivers. Matthew Golden, it's a high-level risk for me. Even without the injury, what has he done really for us all season long? Chemistry has not been there with Love, and I just don't like it. Where Romeo Doubs, PPR upside mid-level risk. If I'm playing any wide receiver out of this team right now, it's going to be Romeo this week. Romeo, because I do believe he does possess the best upside, and especially with how the Eagles' secondary is hurting and a lot of injuries, there could be ample opportunity for Romeo to get at least some good PPR upside. Where Christian Watson, mid-level risk, TD boomer bust, definitely is existing once again this week. You want to see the integration just a little bit more for Christian Watson. We're just not there yet. And the replacement for a Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave, I love the play this week, man. Everybody doesn't. Maybe you don't remember that Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft were drafted in the same draft class, and they fully expected Musgrave to be the better pass-catching tight end. That did not come to pass because of all the injuries he possessed, and then he lost his job to Tucker Kraft. I like Musgrave. I think this is a great opportunity. If you got him off the waiver wire, you might have found yourself another Tucker Kraft in the making when it comes to how the fantasy points do roll in. PPR upside in the green. I am absolutely firing up a Luke Musgrave. Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. No CJ Stroud this week. Nick Chubb dealing with a foot injury. He should be good to go. Davis Mills, long neck week is definitely here. He's got giraffe neck. Maybe it helps him see over the line. I don't know. Low floor anyway. For long neck Mills, it's very difficult, man, for you to trust a backup quarterback on this Texans offense that hasn't been great overall anyway, so we're not playing that. It's going to downgrade everybody on this offense. Volume floor in the mid-level for Nick Chubb, dealing with that foot, but Woody Marks, we got a Woody Chubb, man. It is a mid-level risk for me for Woody. I would obviously play Woody over Chubb all day long. Nico Collins, still on the good upside because he's one of those guys that can create and make plays all on his own and make this offense move in the right direction. If we're playing anybody off this Houston Texans team, it is Nico Collins for potential TD, good upside in the green. Christian Kirk, low floor in the red. Jaden Higgins, high-level risk, not touching it. And then Dalton Schultz actually has been picking up his game. I've been putting him down quite a bit. But, I mean, even with Davis Mills, we know he likes the checkdowns. We know he likes the safe throws. If you're looking for a decent 7 to 9 point spot from your tight end, Dalton Schultz is definitely going to be that guy, mid-level risk. I do not dislike the play of him this week. Indianapolis Colts taking on the Atlanta Falcons, like I said, in Germany. Daniel Jones, Daniel Pennies. I know a lot of people, or some people in the comments were saying, stop calling him Danny Pennies. It's a nickname, okay? I can't get rid of a nickname. Sorry, you can't just change it to Indiana Jones. It wasn't even Danny Dimes for me. It was always Danny Pennies. No disrespect. We're just having a little fun. But anyway, Daniel Jones, Daniel Pennies. We'll go low-level risk, man. He's been killing it this year. I'm giving the man his credit. 183 points, 8 boom games. Nothing to sneeze at, man. This guy's moving this offense in a positive way. 7-2 record. Daniel Jones has done very well in this Indianapolis Colts offense. Go back to my offseason stuff. I told you Danny Jones was going to be the biggest sleeper quarterback out there when he signed with the Colts. So get out of here, man. I can say what I want with my nicknames. But Daniel Jones, low-level risk, we're firing him up everywhere we got him. Bounce back week for Jonathan Taylor in the green. He is first bust game of the season. He will come back in a big way. Bijan versus JT. Sign me up. I can't wait to watch this contest. No question. Amir Abdullah, high-level risk, not touching it. Where Michael Pittman, low-level risk. 7 boom games for Pittman. He's been killing it this year. Should absolutely continue. 120 points. Pittman's been absolutely stellar with the trade of an A.D. Mitchell to those New York Jets for Sauce. I mean, this does open up more clarity for what this, offense can become with this trio of wide receivers in Pittman, Downs, and Pierce. You got to like what you see. There's a lot. It was maybe too crowded, so now they're trying to simplify it up because Josh Downs, we're always down for Downs. PPR upside on the mid-level. This guy could get you 12 points without even looking. Should happen again this week where Alec Pierce picking up his game, man, where it was just being the deep shot. Now he's getting a little bit of the over-the-middle crossers, mid-range. It's looking nice. Excuse me, I am a big fan of Alec Pierce. I think, once he figured out how to round out the rest of his game and they trust his hands, this guy's, 14 points last week. This could be a big-time good floor, safe floor for Alec Pierce. If I had to choose, I will take Pierce over Downs this week, but both should be able to put up decent numbers. And Tyler Warren, he's going to have to share some target share with these wide receivers now, but low-level risk, fire him up everywhere he got him. 6 boom games. He's been a stellar rookie this season. Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. Trevor Lawrence, sunshine. This is a game, if you have Trevor Lawrence, I'm so good with putting him on the bench for better or worse. I don't even care if he hits 35 points this week. The thought process is versus this, surging Texans defense. I'm not trusting it to shake a stick at, man. No Brian Thomas Jr., no Travis Hunter. Diami Brown still dealing with that concussion, even though he should be suiting up in this contest. Hunter Long. So how many tight ends they gone through already? Is that 3? It's not good. I don't like it whatsoever. And the way that the Houston Texans come after the quarterback, it's going to be a long day for Sunshine. Low floor, mid-level risk. I do not like it. Likewise with Travis Etienne, my dude. Mid-level risk for Etienne. You can play him, but again, 10 points might be your top ceiling unless he finds a way into the end zone. It's going to be tough sledding for this Jags team this week. I do not like it. Bashal Tutin. If I don't like Etienne, I'm not really banking on Tootin to do much either. But the big news, Jacoby Meyers does get traded to these Jacksonville Jaguars, give him some relief at the wide receiver position. So now you got Jacoby, you got Parker Washington. Those are going to be your 1-2 punch this week as well. People say, can I start at Jacoby Meyers? For me, start at your own risk. I'm going to play it safe and say no this week. PPR floor, mid-level risk. He hasn't been there a week, man. How much of the playbook can this guy learn that fast? So, outside of a couple quick, slants, drags, and hooks. What else this guy going to do? So maybe we see 5 receptions, 65 yards coming from Meyers, and if you're lucky, you get a touchdown. But versus secondary, Derek Stingley and company, I do not like it. But Parker Washington, mid-level risk, there is flex appeal on the PPR train. Don't dislike Parker because he does find good open windows for Trevor Lawrence to throw to. Diami Brown, TD dependency, dealing with that concussion, don't like it. And Johnny Munt is the backup to the backup here for the tight end position, high-level risk. I am not touching that. Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Herbie. Okay, man, this Chargers team's moving in the right direction. They got a lot of weapons. My biggest concern, you lost all your offensive linemen. You lost Slater, you lost both gone for the season. Now you're back to the Coach Staley days where you don't have an offensive line and Justin Herbert was being hit more than anything, and we could see a very similar thing. Not good news, period, for this offense. I don't care who anybody the quarterback is. You lose to both your starting tackles, you're going to have a big problem, but I'm still going to give him a low-level risk, even versus TJ Watt and company. Herbert's, picked up his game in situations where he can be more mobile, where he is extending plays, and he's got a plethora of wide receivers to throw to. So low-level risk for Herbert, 8 boom games. I do like the play this week. Still, he should be able to put up points, even if they do stumble early and they do try to come back. He should give you a very good floor. Kamani Vidal, a couple rough games in a row, mid-level risk for me. I mean, Steelers at least can still stifle the run quite a bit. There are better options. You should take them over Kamani this week. Maybe we see a lot of checkdowns as well going to Kamani's to get a little pressure off. A lot of screen plays could be coming as well to keep Herbie safe. But I'm lukewarm on the Vidal play this week. I would look for better options. Where Patterson, high-level risk, not much of a spell back at this point. Where Ladd McConkey, he's a good lad. PPR floor, mid-level risk. QJ, TD upside, mid-level risk. Keenan Allen, mid-level risk. So pick your poison at this point. Right now it has been Ladd and QJ again, where Keenan Allen has been rough the last 4 weeks. Can't sugarcoat that, man. Even though he is 101 points, he got a lot of that point productivity early on. Now they're kind of going back to Ladd, going back to QJ. And I've been cussing QJ a lot for having no hands. That was a great hand catch in the end zone, extending with his arms. Very good, QJ. Love to see it. For me, if I'm going to rank these gentlemen, it's going to be QJ, it's going to be Ladd, then it's going to be Keenan this week, but likely it probably will be Keenan having something of a day this week. But Oronde Gadsden, low-level risk, we can play him. He's been very consistent so far, and still they're having a difficult time finding coverage for the man as they're putting a lot of dedication to the wide receivers. Los Angeles Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Matthew Stafford definitely in the MVP race right now. Low-level risk, fire him up. It's always great when Sean McVay and Shani go up against each other. These guys know each other like bread and rice together. It's unbelievable what these guys can do versus each other. Stafford still likewise. They got Puka back. He's no worse for wear after dealing with that injury last week. Low-level risk. Fire him up everywhere you got him. Kyron Williams, low-level risk. Fire up him everywhere you got him. They're going to need all hands on deck. We could see quite a bit of points scored in this contest. 6-2, 6-3. This is a huge divisional showdown where Blake Corum, high-level risk, not touching it. Puka, Devontae, fire them up on low-level risk for me as well. I love the dynamic that I see, especially with the integration, more so with Devontae being the red zone guy, being the jump ball guy, back shoulder fade guy. Absolutely love it. Puka, the problem is he'll catch you 8 balls and then he goes down with an injury as well. So as long as he gets you those 19, 20 points, obviously Puka's money and he's going to do it again. But love me some Devontae Adams, where Whittington and Higbee, high-level risk, don't like it. We could see a little bit of PPR upside for Higbee, but I'm not necessarily trusting it to high-end levels. Miami Dolphins taking on my Buffalo Bills. Tua Tagovailoa. Now they do not have some of their defensive players, so you're asking your offense to pick up steam. They fired their general manager, still have the head coach, and gave him a recommendation of endorsement for next season. Kind of shocking, but they do see something in Coach McDaniel as well. I don't dislike him. He's very creative, been figured out quite a bit, but Tua just has not been that guy this year. If timing system scheme is off, he definitely is struggling, and I fully expect the Bills to come after Tua quite a bit. Mid-level risk for Tua. We could see a decent floor, 12, 15 points with a ceiling potentially of 20, but I just don't see it with the lack of total weapons that they don't possess anymore. We're Devin off the HN. Whew, got to take a breath there, man. This guy, my dude, HN, is a killer. 9 boom games, 9 games played. He's like a, smaller-bodied Marshall Faulk out there, and I think I stole that from my buddy, but it's so true. This guy does everything well. He runs the football in between, outside. He can catch the football, screens, down the field, wheel routes, Texas routes. This guy does it all. This is definitely reminiscent of what Marshall Faulk used to do on the field. We're obviously playing him versus the Buffalo Bills, who have, struggled ultimately this season. Versus the run, HN is a superstar, no question. He will definitely have a good game versus the Buffalo Bills, where Ollie Gordon was dealing with an ankle injury. We haven't been trusting it all season long, and we're still not going to do that. We're Jalen Waddle time. Without a Tyreek Hill, all the coverage should be dedicated to Waddle. I'd be shocked if he gets, 6 for 100 in this contest unless he gets behind the defense. your only issue right now is just cover Jalen Waddle and try to stop Achane. Everyone else, make them beat you if that's how it's going to go. So for me, I will be shocked if Waddle has a big game. Mid-level risk for me. We're Malik Washington, PPR floor in the red, Nick Westbrook, Akine, high-level risk, not touching it. Julian Hill, he has now been ruled out, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got to double-check that as well. But, I mean, depending on who the tight end is, Connor or Hill, it does not matter. We're not playing these guys versus the Buffalo Bills anyway, so it's a moot point if he is not suiting up in this contest. Minnesota Vikings taking on the Baltimore Ravens. J.J. McCarthy. I'm a fan, okay? I'm going to say it. I'm a fan of JJ, except for that, I don't know what you're doing in that locker room trying to be like this crazy psycho dude. Like, chill out, man. It's okay. You don't have to try so hard. But, I mean, he looks good on the field, and I liked what I saw, man. I really did have my hesitations last week coming off his injury, coming off all that rest and seeing how much rust he would have. That's hard to say. But, I mean, J.J. McCarthy, mid-level risk for me versus a Baltimore Ravens defense that is getting healthier, by the way. I still think they got, gaping holes that can be exploited from. So McCarthy, for me, anywhere from 19 to 21 is definitely on the table once again this week. Mid-level risk for him. Where Aaron Jones was the big question mark this week. A lot of people asking already. He is dealing with that shoulder issue. They're talking it was a minor AC joint issue. He says he's good. He's got 2 days left, he says, and he's good to go. So we'll see what he is on Sunday. For me, if he is good, that was my biggest problem. Is he really injured or is he not? Mid-level risk either for him or Mason. But if Jones says he's good, I'm definitely listening because the PPR upside is more so there for him than Mason, where Mason hasn't been running great the past several weeks. So for me, it is Aaron Jones over Mason if Aaron Jones is good. JJ, Justin Jefferson, low-level risk. Fire him up, obviously, everywhere he got him. Where Jordan Addison, Addy, my dude. 4 out of 5 games have been a boom for Addy. He's been absolutely killing it. TD upside should come back. He saw his first bust game last week since coming off his suspension. Trust him, man. There's so much dedication going to be going to JJ once again. We can play Addy very comfortably once again this week. We're Jalen Naylor, afterthought as always, and TJ Hawkinson. PPR floor TD dependency is definitely where I'm going with this. He's just been too weak overall fantasy-wise for us to trust on a weekly basis. I think we can have better options. New England Patriots taking on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Drake May also in that MVP category. We saw Tom Brady cloned his dog. Somebody said that, they might have cloned Drake May to be a heir apparent to a Tom Brady. Let's take it easy, okay? Let's just take it easy and pump the brakes. You all will be talking crazy. Drake May is one of a kind, and he is doing the business. Low-level risk. Fire him up. 8 boom games. Taking on the Buccaneers, who will be without a lot of their weapons still once again this week. Drake's been spectacular. I was going to say sensational and spectacular at the same time. I was going to make my own word. Almost 200 points for this young man. Comes to no surprise for me. Drake May is elite, and this guy will absolutely carve up defenses that are strong, and we will see it once again this week. Trevion Henderson with no Ramondre Dre. He's dealing with a toe injury. Could be out for some time. They're calling it a turf toe if they do. Still haven't seen it. They're just saying toe. Would be nice to specify if it was turf toe, because that's probably like 3 to 4 weeks. But Trevion Henderson, he got some more carries last week, got vultured by Jennings for that touchdown that should have been his. Feed him the damn ball. I don't know what else I have to say to Coach Vrabel at this point. And Josh McDaniels, you're killing us, man. Mid-level risk for Trevion this week versus the Buccaneers. You can get outside on them, and you can get them in the open field in the pass game. I'm going to say play Trey this week. Where I didn't say it with high levels of confidence last week, this week I'm okay with it. We can play a Trevion Henderson and feel relatively good about it because he should see more touches, more carries. Where Terrell Jennings has been the split back like he was last week. He should do it again, and then goal line upside should probably favor him over Trevion. So hopefully they get inside the 10 and they pass it into Trey this week. We'll see what happens, but I do like Trey over a Jennings. Stephon Diggs, we can Diggs it. Good upside for Diggs this week with no Kayshon Boutte. You like booty? Well, you're not going to see Boutte this week because he's out with a hamstring injury. Stephon Diggs, good upside. He should take majority of the target share from a Drake May. He is a good start this week. Likewise with Demario Douglas. Pop Douglas. Mid-level risk. This guy, all he needs is targets, and you see what plays he makes. man, oh man, it's just such a shame that they don't give it to him all the time every single week, because this guy's putting up numbers because he sees lesser coverage from everybody. I do like Pop in the flex as well with no Kayshon Boutte, where TD dependency is for Mac Hollins, not trusting it in fantasy. And potentially some more target share does go to a Hunter Henry, mid-level risk on the low floor. He does need TDs because, I mean, he's not getting enough targets to make him a standalone option at this point. New Orleans Saints taking on those Carolina Panthers. No Rattler. They played Shag. He looked okay, and the result's still the same. 1-8. They're losing. They don't look good. They trade Rashid Shaheed. High-level risk for Shag, man. Why is this a problem? Because can he support anybody on this offense? And right now, even Kellen Moore, head coach, he looks lost. I don't understand. You got a thoroughbred like an Alvin Kamara. Use him as the check down. This man should be 12 receptions a game because nobody's open down the field. I will not understand you, Kellen Moore, at all. Sean Payton knew how to do it. The previous head coach knew how to do it, and that's what kept Alvin Kamara inside the top 10 of fantasy running backs is those damn PPR upside check downs. I just don't get it, man. Alvin Kamara, mid-level risk for me. Only 3 boom games, 68 points. One of his worst seasons on record in his career. But I'm going on a limb this week. I think this is the week we finally see Alvin Kamara back to old Alvin. But again, it could blow up in our face. I'm taking the risk in some leagues, and I'm doing it because I believe it. But again, I know what I'm getting into. If it's going to be another 5, 6, 7 points, I'm going to be cursing myself. But I do believe a touchdown is coming. It's been far too long for Alvin Kamara. Chris Olave, CO2, my guy, PPR floor. Now with no Rashid Shaheed, he's going to get all the targets. There is no question. There's no one else to throw to of any relevance at this point. But at least Chris Olave, mid-level risk, giving us decent floors enough to be that flex low-end wide receiver 3. So there is still points to be had. Just the upside isn't there unless he gets in the end zone. Where Devon Vele, he's now going to take over the Rashid Shaheed's side. High-level risk for me. Taysom Hill, Kellen Moore doesn't like him either. Outside of Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill, Kellen Moore doesn't like these guys. He doesn't give them the ball. So no, we're not trusting Taysom this week. But Juwan Johnson, he's back to life, baby. Young quarterbacks, what do I say? Safety blanket, tight end, PPR upside. Juwan is back in business. We can play Juwan this week as well. New York Giants taking on the Chicago Bears. Jackson Dart and company. Low-level risk for Dart. Fire him up. Even though they're losing, he's putting up damn good points. 6 boom games. And you like the fact that these losses are bugging him. He wants to win. He wants to be great. He wants his team to be great. You can't measure heart, man. You can see it. You can't measure it. And Jackson Dart definitely has it. Fire up him everywhere you got him. Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary. Man, oh man, high-level risk for Devin Motor and then Tyrone Tracy. You hoped for better last week. Mid-level risk versus the Bears, even though their defense isn't necessarily stellar. I can't trust it this week, man. And, of course, he's probably going to pop off for 25. Like, he's been so tough to predict this year, and I'm just going to hedge on it. Mid-level risk, play at your own risk, and then we'll talk next week and see where we can evaluate. Wan'Dale Robinson was an afterthought last week. Mid-level risk this week. Should see a lot more targets, where Darius Slayton was the leading receiver last week. PPR upside, mid-level risk. We can play both these gentlemen in our flex. Low-end wide receiver 2. Jalen Hyatt not touching. Where Theo Johnson, TD floor, mid-level risk. I'm okay with the play of Theo this week. New York Jets taking on the Cleveland Brownies. This game is going to be so ugly. It's oogly, man. I'm telling y'all. We're going to see a lot of, not so much offense. I don't know what else to say. Justin Fields, high-level risk versus a Myles Garrett who's going to come after him with a bum rush. It's going to be a very long day. Breece Hall, mid-level risk. He's scooting around on a go-kart. He has to be traded, and now he's scooting around in the locker room on a go-kart, man. He doesn't give a ish about what's going on in New York. I don't like Breece this week. But, I mean, I have him in a couple leagues. I got to play him because I need the running back help, but mid-level risk. Temper those high expectations versus the Brownies. It's going to be tough sledding. Where Isaiah Davis, low floor, in the red, not trusting it. Where Garrett Wilson should be back this week. He said he's good to go. PPR floor, mid-level risk. We'll see how it does work out. But A.D. Mitchell, newest addition for these New York Jets. High-level risk this week until he gets acclimated to the system. He's still a young guy, man. Was he 21, 22 years old? Give the guy a chance. I think the Colts gave up a little too early on an AD. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I think AD is a special talent. He just needs the right tutelage. Is he going to get it here in New York? We will see. see, but playing with Garrett Wilson, he will learn a couple things to be that much better. Arian Smith not touching it. We're Mason Taylor. TD dependencies, garbage time appeal only. So if you're playing him, you're likely going to bite your fingernails off until the fourth quarter, and then maybe he gets himself a touchdown. Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Green Bay Packers. Like I said on Monday Night Football, Jalen Hurts and company coming off a bye week. They continue to ask A.J. Brown the questions. Do you want to be here? Trade deadline's gone. He's not going anywhere. Leave the guy alone, man. Yeah, okay, his season hasn't been great overall, but he's played when they've called upon him. So, I mean, Jalen Hurts right now, low-level risk. Fire him up. Saquon Barkley, he had the week off at the right time. Groin flared up before they went in. They're saying the groin is fine. He's good to go. Low-level risk. Fire up a Saquon. Obviously, everywhere we got him. Tank Bigsby has replaced a Will Shipley for me. High-level risk this week, but seeing spelling touches, he's looking good behind this offensive line. Eventually, we could see potential like Tyler Algier numbers where we could maybe even play him as our, running back 3 flex. This week we can't trust Tank, but Saquon should be able to run pretty well versus the Packers, even though they are, I think the Packers defense is a little bit overrated, y'all. I'm going to say it, hot take. It is what it is. I can't sugarcoat it. Just the way that the Packers have played the last several weeks, even with Micah Parsons, I just don't like it. I don't like what I see. So A.J. Brown, for me, low-level risk. Fire him up everywhere you got him. He's got to be playing with that chip on his shoulder. Just give me the damn ball. Let me make plays. I like A.J. Brown. I like Smitty this week as well. This is a big-time contest. Both teams should bring their A games, and I do like playing the studs in this week's contest. Where Dallas Goedert, TD Floor, he may not get, the top-end target share, but TDs have been following this man like bees to honey. Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the LA Chargers on Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers, mid-level risk for me. Chargers defense with Khalil Mack back is good, and they will come after him quite a bit. Old man Rodgers can't necessarily navigate the pocket like he used to, and they just don't have enough weapons to contend with a defense like this at this point. Mid-level risk, 12 to 15 points is your floor this week for an Aaron Rodgers, where Jaylen Warren, good upside in the green. I do like how he's been playing. I was a little too low this offseason on Jaylen Warren. I can always admit when I'm wrong, and in this situation, I'm not necessarily 100% correct. I think that, the way he's playing ball, I'm definitely on board. Good upside in the green. Took me a few weeks, but I'm back on board. High-level risk for Kenneth Gainwell. He is now the secondary back behind Jaylen Warren. We're DK Metcalf, Cyborg Metcalf, low-level risk. Couple of bad games out of 3, 2 out of 3 bad games. I think they're going to try to force feed him quite a bit. They need him to be a big-time player if they decide to win this contest. For Calvin Austin, PPR floor, boomer bust, TD upside. I don't like it this week. You guys pick your poison. You like it and you play it. That is totally your call. I do not like it. Where Pat Freiermuth, the Muth, he seems to be picking up steam with Aaron Rodgers. I like the mid-level risk play for him over Jonnu Smith this week as well. Pat Freiermuth, he should be the number 2 target, like I've been saying all season long, and he is a great touchdown weapon for them, no question. San Francisco 49ers taking on the LA Rams. Mac Money Jones, he is pegged to play this week once again. Brock Purdy, he's a questionable, but they're saying that Mac Jones is going to start. So they are winning games, so why not allow their franchise quarterback to heal up? That's kind of the MO that I see. Mid-level risk for Mac Jones. He's been taking a beating since being in this lineup, but at least he's been carrying this team enough to how they require 4 boom games, 112 points. You can't ask for anything better from a streaming quarterback. He's been doing relatively well. Where Christian McCaffrey, off a terrible show 2 weeks ago, he bounced back. He should do it once again versus the Rams. He's going to get up for a divisional show, no question. Low-level risk, fire him up, obviously, everywhere we got him. Where B-Rob finally got himself a boom game last week. It's going to be an anomaly. We can't trust it this week. Where Juwan Jennings, good upside in the green with no Ricky Pearsall once again. I do like the play of Juwan. He looks healthy, healthier than he has all season long. We can start a Juwan this week. Where Kendrick Bourne, Demarcus Robinson, low floor, high level risk for both. Do not like it whatsoever. And then the people's tight end, George Kittle. Little bit of a bust game last week. Did not like it. We got to see George more involved, but they're still winning games. So that's just all the 49ers are trying to do right now as they try to get healthier. George Kittle this week, though, he should break out of that mini funk that he had, especially since last TD came on National Tight Ends Day. Seattle Seahawks taking on those Arizona Cardinals, Sam Darnold and company, so they trade for Rashid Shaheed. But we got some bad news. Torrey Horton is dealing with a groin and shin issue. He is doubtful not to play in this contest. Cooper Kupp should be trending on the right direction. Likewise, with an A.J. Barner calf issue, he should be trending to suit up in this contest. But Darnold's been killer, man. 142 points, low-level risk. Cardinals are starting to play some ball. And that Cardinals defense is better than a lot of people do realize, man. That rookie Nolan Smith, Nolan, I can't remember his first name. Walter Nolan, excuse me. He's just an absolute machine, man. First contest he played, and he was wreaking havoc all over that field. Love his game. So, I mean, you're going to see this Cardinals defense start to pick up steam just a little bit, but I think Sam Darnold and how this offense is moving, we can absolutely trust Sam once again this week. What do you do with this running back room? It is very difficult. Kenny Walker III, Zach Charbonnet. Man, oh man, I really thought last week they were going to force feed K9, and it just did not happen, okay? This week again, can you trust it? I mean, really, can you trust it? Mid-level risk for both Charbonnet and Kenny Walker. Sharbs gets the TD upside, vulturing above K9 at this point. I just don't know what's going down. I don't think a lot of people know. Volume floor for mid-level risk for K9, man. At this point, it's 8 points to 12. Like, that's all you're getting. It's very, very peculiar, no question. But either one of these guys, if you got better options this week, I suggest taking them until one of them at least starts to pull away from each other and reset the system here at the running back spot in Seattle. Jack Smith and Jigba JSN, obviously, it's not even a question. This guy's killing it. 8 boom games and 8 contests played. He's been absolutely stellar. Cooper Kupp injury risk, I'm not touching it. Where it is, Rashid Shaheed, TD upside in the green. I mean, you don't need to know the playbook to run 9 routes, and that's what they're going to get Shaheed to do, and you know they're going to test it a few times. They want to test out their new toy. I do like the play of Rashid Shaheed this week. He should at least attempt for a couple deep shots down the field that could result in a touchdown. And A.J. Barner, I do like the play mid-level risk if he does suit up in this contest. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New England Patriots. Bake Show has not looked good last 2 contests. They need a get-right game, and maybe it's not the best one against the Patriots, who have been surging. I do like Baker this week as well, though. I think that a bounce back in a big way is coming, even though they don't have Bucky. They don't have Chris Godwin still. It is one of these situations, man. They've dealt with a lot of injuries, still at 6-2. And I believe they're coming off the bye week, so they got some ample rest. So at least they should be fresher than what they were. Low-level risk for Baker. I do like the play versus the Patriots. So likewise with Rachaad White, they got to continue to run the rock. Give this man the football in the open space. He will get a big-time show. Patriots are decent on the defensive side, but if they utilize White in the open field, he should be able to gallop free. I'm playing White everywhere I got him. Emeka Egbuka, low-level risk, fire him up. He got the endorsement from Big Mike Evans saying, "You're Emeka Egbuka. Just go out and make plays." I think he's going to have a big show this week, even going up against a Gonzo. I think Emeka gets the best of him this week. We're Sterling Shepard, low floor, high level risk. Tez Johnson, mid-level. I do like the play of Tez this week. They need somebody else to step up, and I think Tez will be that guy. Where Cade Otton, low floor, PPR upside definitely exists. There is a low floor of 4 points potentially. Play at your own risk. I'm not really trusting Otton this week either. Washington Commanders, the Commies, finish this thing off, man. Taking on the Detroit Lions. No Jaden Daniels. Positive news. JD has been said that there is no ligament damage in that broken arm. Good news, man. So he potentially could return this season if they are still in playoff contention. Going to be very difficult, especially versus a Lions team coming off a loss that's going to come after them in a very big way. Scary Terry is also out, and Luke McCaffrey has been sent to injured reserve due to that broken collarbone. Marcus Mariota, low floor, mid-level. I'm not trusting this offense whatsoever this week. Do not like it. Will not trust it. JCM, Kroksky, Merritt, mid-level risk. The experiment is kind of phasing out. It's not working. And you know the Lions front seven's going to come after him big time, where Jeremy McNichols' PPR floor maybe has some of the better upside at the running back spot. We'll see. I don't like it. We're Debo, mid-level risk. I got him in a couple leagues, and I'm forced to play him. But trust me, I do not like it. So if you got him and you have to play him, let's bite our fingernails off together, because it's going to be a long day. I'm hoping at least for garbage time points from Debo, as it could get ugly early. Treylon Burks, Chris Moore, if you are playing these guys, you're in like a 20-man league at this point. So high-level risk for both these guys. I do not like it. Where Zach Ertz, mid-level risk, check down upside is here. Safer floor, but TD is definitely a dependency for him this week too. Boom. But there you have it. That is week number 10. Start sit lineup advice. I hope you guys get your dubs. All these games right now are very important for the fantasy football playoffs, so we definitely got to get on tap and get these wins. Drop your questions in the comments. Like always, I will always get back to all y'all, no question. But let's get out of here nevertheless. As always, don't forget that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. Let's get those dubs. I am out.